Hey everybody, this is John Jeffrey with Rock Music Star, and today we have special guests Chuck Garrick and Calico Cooper from Beasto Blanco. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing good, man. How are you guys?
Awesome, awesome. And you guys have your new record, We Are, that's going to be coming out May 24th.
Coming out May 24th, man.
And
Yeah.
I've been listening to it over and over. I think it's great. I really dig the songs that you guys share lead vocals on, and where you're harmonizing a lot. Songs like "See You in It," and "Ready to Go." Fantastic material. Just really digging it. So first of all, could you just tell us about the record? Basically, how the process started and how you came up with the name for the record.
So I'll let Calico take that one.
Okay.
How we started it?
We
Well,
did.
it started by picking me up from the mental institution. They sprung me out of there, and then we started writing. So basically, we the first record was really like the bones of the beast. You know what I mean? Like we needed a skeleton, and we needed a place to kind of build from. So that first record we did was really like the foundation. And then, the second record we really did kind of built the muscle. Got a little bit harder. The lyrics got a little more pointed. It was it had a little more of a style. I feel like we were developing. And then this record really is, I've been saying, and I really back it, is the teeth. This is kind of the finishing touches of the beast. Is the claws and teeth. And I love that it's so diverse. You know what I mean? Like, you got the speaker, and I See You in It, and Perception, and like all these songs that, I mean, clearly it's the same band,
Right.
but it's such a cool arc. I feel like, you can tell it's the same movie, but just vastly different scenes.
Right, and that kind of ties into my next question. I was going to ask, do you consciously go in with the thought of, we're making a new record and we want to make it different than the previous one, or is it just kind of a natural progression from working together from record to record that there's the changes that occur within each recording?
I mean, I kind of come in on the second half of that. The songs are written, and then I hear the basically like the bones of it, and then we all go in the studio and we go, okay, so here's the idea. This kind of Bonnie and Clyde, Natural Born Killers team is on this journey, sort of this adventure. And when you see Beasto live, it really is a different, no pun intended, but it's a different beast. It's a different animal, which is why I think it was really important that we released Live from Berlin, because you get to kind of hear what happens live. You can almost, when you're listening to the record, you can almost see it.
Right.
So with We Are, I think it really was mostly focused about the fans. And the fans that bring a band like us from infancy all the way to where we are now, it's not like us on stage and them in the crowds. We are Beasto Blanco. And at the end of the show, Chuck says, "We are Beasto Blanco. You are Beasto Blanco." And people go nuts because it's true. You know what I mean? It's not. There's no separation of church and state. We all are in this together, and that the new record really reflects that.
Right. And I don't want to leave Chuck out, but this next question kind of ties in with what you were just saying, was that, with the second record, your presence in the band really became known, especially when people started seeing, YouTube clips of the band live. And not only are you a presence musically, but visually, especially for people who've yet to see the band live. I mean, your presence in the band visually is without saying, is a very impactful part of the Beasto Blanco show.
Right, well, I mean, I think that was on purpose. It's one of those things where I came in, I think, doing background vocals on the first one. It was, my friend asking me to come in and do some background vocals on a record, and I'd done that before, and I'd do it again. And so I came in without any knowledge that it was going to go this way or this far. And then once he asked me to tour, I don't think I warned him that I don't know my place. I don't know what my place is, so I'll just go. And you have to tell me what's too much and when to stop. So I just started creating a monster. You know what I mean? And just let her run with me and just see what happens, and how she interacts with the guys in the band, how she interacts with the crowd, which is so not me. You know, I'm goofy. I'm an idiot. I'm just like, dur, 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 dur. But man, you put those dreadlocks in and those boots on, and all of a sudden, I wouldn't get within 5 feet of me.
That's great. So, Chuck, from your perspective, how have you seen Calico progress from the very beginning of the band up until what you guys are doing now in a live setting?
I feel like I'm in a parent-teacher conference. Now, Chuck, how have you seen Calico's work progress?
And I'm looking at you with a little passing a note across the desk with 2 words that says, "Help me." Call 911. Look, man, you know, I mean, the one thing I've learned from as much touring as I've done and recording as I've done in my career is that you're going to want to hire the best, not only musicianship, but just creative-wise. And bringing Calico into the fold just, you know, was one of the elements that I think was going to put us over the top. It was going to separate us from just a front 3 lineup kind of thing where we're just, you know, a rock band, which is great. and that is what we are at the same time. But I knew that all the years of touring I've done with Calico, I kind of knew she was a sort of a secret weapon. You know, I knew she had other talents other than what, you know, she was doing just in the Alice Cooper band, where I don't think she was being utilized with all the things that she could offer. And so, again, we kind of go into everything with just a really open mind and an open book, and we don't discount anything, and we sort of try not to plan too much either. We just let it happen, and as the shows progress and as things start to develop, we start to figure out a flow. But again, it's still a different show every night. It may be the same set list, but it's still a different show. And we're not always on this particular spot in this particular song, which makes it fun and real free for all of us as well. You know, each show has its own energy and its own feeling. And Calico, to me, is just sort of a real free spirit. She's up there and she's just reacting off of the crowd and how she's feeling that particular day or night, depending upon the events that have happened. And it sort of, you know, it inspires me as well to let loose and just go for it. And I think we've sort of finding our way sonically on the records as well, like finding out what we can do writing-wise. It's no other way to put it other than it's just a lot of fun because there's no rules. We make the rules, and that's just a great feeling to have in a band where there's so many people that want to have a say-so, and it's like, no, we're going to lock the doors. We're going to go into the studio. We're going in with the people we love and trust, and we'll let you hear it when it's done.
That's awesome. Now, you guys are currently on tour now with doing some shows with Hailstorm, correct?
Yeah, we're here right now in Rapid City.
Awesome. And now the album doesn't come out until the end of the month, but are you already including some of the songs from the new record into the set?
Yeah, we do. We're definitely playing The Seeker. That single has been released now. It's out on radio. The video's out. Fans are pretty familiar with that one. And we've added a Solitary Rave to the set, which features Calico as well. And we have 30 minutes to give these kids a show and give them an idea of what we're about. So the set list was kind of tricky to come up with because we have some diehard fans that wanted to hear particular songs, and we really did want to play some of those, but we had to really think about how we can sum up what Beasto Blanco is about in 30 minutes. Yeah,
that has to be a daunting task. I mean, obviously, with limited stage time and what you guys are doing now, I know both of you are so creative. Describe to me, if cost was no object, what type of production would you like to see Beasto Blanco have?
I'm a director. When I'm not Superman at night, I'm directing things, and in the daytime as Clark Kent. But I would like to see, and I've envisioned it a billion different times. I mean, we've been privy, being with the Alice Cooper Band for so long, to see some incredible things. And so I feel like I really know what's next I know what's next. And we just went to the NAMM convention and saw some things that, I mean, it's out of a space odyssey. What you can do now, what's out there for bands to use, on an arena level especially, is just mind-boggling. So I think for our first tour in an arena packed, how, you picture it, the low-lying smoke, everything like that, I would like to bring Mad Max to the stage. I would like to see the trash cans that are on fire. I would like to see the burning city in the background. I would like it to feel like the audience walked around the corner to basically a peasant's rally in Mad Max.
Very cool. Very cool. And, I mean, obviously, Chuck, with you touring most of the time with Alice, how do you guys work the schedule with Beasto? Is it a matter of, you get Alice's schedule, 6 months or a year in advance, and you try to fill in those spots, or how does that work?
Yeah, we just sort of get as much information as we possibly can. I mean, that is a tricky thing. I mean, with everybody lives in different cities, and Alice has his agenda, and I have my responsibility, with him, but also my responsibility with Beasto Blanco. So you just do the best you can. You just, everybody is Team Beasto, everybody is Team Career. So we just sort of just communicate and figure it out and say yes to everything, and then figure it out later.
Right. Has with Alice doing the Hollywood Vampires, has that freed up additional time for you?
It definitely helped. Yeah, it definitely helped.
Great. And here's a little bit of a hardball question. Have you ever thought about or considered stepping down from Alice in order to give 100% time to Beasto Blanco?
Yeah, I get asked that question a lot, and I haven't really. I try not to think about it too much, to be quite honest with you, because I'll know when the time's right to approach that thing. It's like with anything, with any type of career, you're talking about a major decision. So before I can even really think about that, I'd have to put a lot of things in perspective and lay out what the game plan is, so I can plan my life accordingly. I mean, I love doing what I do right now. I have the best of both worlds, and right now I'm out on tour with Hellstorm, and we're just trying to make this thing successful and get the most out of it that we possibly can, and have a good fucking time doing it. And that's really all I care about.
Right. And Calico, I mean, being the fact that you have literally and figuratively the Alice Cooper DNA flowing through your blood, have you ever thought about or ever been asked if when your dad retires, if you would take over as being Alice Cooper?
I have, actually, and it's such an interesting idea. It's never been done. But if it was to be done, I have an idea of how I would do it. See, like, again, I'm a director, and I do commercials and things like that, so marketing is kind of my thing. I know how I do it so that it would be the most successful. It's all about the transition, and that could be done really chunkily and really, haphazardly, or it could be done in such a way that everybody goes, yes, I want to go with you on this. So, I mean, obviously, I just played the Domination Festival with him in Mexico like 2-3 days ago, and 100,000 people screaming every lyric of every song. He's the only one not sweating at the end of an hour-and-a-half show. So, I mean, he's not retiring anytime soon. So it would just have to be something that, if it was right, like Chuck said, I would definitely consider it. And it's an honor that people ask. You know what I mean? Because that really is, it's gone past iconic into legendary, that character. And that people would think that I could handle something like that is actually a huge compliment.
Right.
But I could.
and the thing is that, it's different in that, there's obviously several, people who, they do tributes and so forth, but seeing you perform you could see that it's such a natural thing that you've had ingrained into you so much of your dad's persona, probably subconsciously.
I've been on tour, totally. So, but I've been on tour with them since I was 18 years old, and
exactly.
I've learned every and also being an actor, like I've learned every nuance of that character. I know what he would do. If you ask me, what would Alice do right now? He'd do this or he'd do that. So it's just knowing a character so well and being on the ride for such a long time and watching it develop and being in writing sessions and in creative, creative conversations about what's going to happen with the show or the record and stuff. I feel like I have a degree, if you will, in Alice Cooperology, where sometimes my dad and I will sit down and he goes, "What do you think Alice would do at this part?" And I go, "He wouldn't do that." I go, he's far too arrogant to allow that to happen. And he goes, "Oh, you're right." So sometimes you even have to remind the person playing the character that that's not what that character would do.
Right. No, that's great. And now with the tour that you guys are on now, how long does this tour go for? When does it wrap up?
We're out with Hailstorm for a couple of dates more, but we continue on until the beginning of June, and we're actually wrapping it up in Nashville, where Chuck's from. Basement East going to go off. So yeah, we're really excited about that. But yeah, you caught us just pulling up to the venue and Rapid City show. We're really stoked. We got our CO2 tanks filled and we're ready to party.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so then I believe after this tour wraps up, that's when Chuck goes back out on tour with Alice. Is that correct?
Yes. Alice will be doing a new show June. I think it starts July. Basically, they go out in July, August, and et cetera, et cetera. So they'll be putting together a new show and hitting the road. And poor guy never gets a break.
Right. And when's the next time we're going to see Beasto back in action after the Alice run? If
I know Chuck, and I do, I also have a degree in Chuckology. He will probably within a couple of weeks, finishing the Alice thing, we'll have something going on. If not days. So we're definitely doing the mega cruise in October, and we'll probably do dates around that. And we have a couple other really rad opportunities. Isn't that so douchey of us to be like, we have some things coming up. We can't talk about it, but it's coming up.
No,
but
it's true. I know sometimes things happen too. You have things planned and things change, and then you don't want to feel like, oh, well, we said we were going to do that, and then it didn't pan out. And so
right, and then you look like an idiot. And
I get it. Well, that's pretty much what I have for you today. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you want to let your fans know about Beasto Blanco or anything that's coming up in general?
I'll just know that they can pre-order the record that's coming out May 24th. They can visit our website, beastoblanco.com. There's a pre-order button there. Visit us and all the socials. It's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All the good stuff has all the info that they need to find out about if they're interested in that. And just follow us. We appreciate it.
And final, just a message to all your Beasto Blanco fans.
We are coming for you, baby.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, guys, and I hope you have a killer show tonight.
Hey, talk to you later.
All right. Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.